All right, so here's our swiggle that we were talking about, and this is one of the downfalls to the swiggle. We've been noticing that what will happen is this swiggle seal that's in here has actually got so much moisture that it's been working on that it's starting to swell, and it's actually creeping into the sight, what we call the sight line of the glass. And we've even seen them dip 4, 5, 6 inches into the sight line of the glass. It's just because it's trying to draw to the moisture. It's being pulled there, and it's a butyl. So once a butyl gets wet, it starts getting gummy. It can no longer seal up the glass. So again, that's made it to the classification of being basically a builder's grade type spacer system. Although when it came into be, we were thinking it was the next thing. And then we started doing this type of spacer system right here, which was kind of neat because it's got the desiccant built right into it, and it's got the mylar fin on the back side of it, and so that was meant to keep the gases inside from escaping, and it's simply put on there with a piece of back tape, and so when you put that on there, it's actually taped to the glass, and it works pretty good. So you push that on there and it's already sealed up. But think about it. What is it? It's tape. And what do we have? We have condensation going on because you have the hot air from the outside trying to make it in. You have the cold air from the air conditioner trying to make it out. Those two are meeting in the middle. You've got condensation going on. Any moisture, remember we were talking about the frame and how moisture gets in there and underneath the glass. Any of it gets in there, what happens to that tape? No longer, once it gets wet, it can no longer do its job and it pulls right off. So we have found that we have got a lot of glass in the warehouse that we've replaced because of this type of spacer system. So again, not as good as what it could be. And then, unfortunately for some manufacturers, they decided that they were going to invest all their money into what they call an intercept machine. And it takes you just shy of $1 million to get that type of machine, but the benefit to it was this machine takes all the human element out of it because a human being does not actually touch the glass on this assembly line. It's all cut by a machine, an optimizer if you will, and suction cups hanging from the ceiling pick the glass up, set it on the assembly line. There's a machine, the intercept machine actually folds this extrusion, and the desiccant would actually lay here on the inside, and it gets crimped where it needs to be crimped, or punched if you will, so that way the corners can be turned, so it's a continual corner instead of being an open corner. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But the problem with it is this piece of metal was subjected to moisture just for a couple hours, and look at what's happened to it. It's already starting to rust. And that's just from a couple hours of being subjected to moisture. Folks, when it rusts, it can no longer seal up the way it was meant to do. But also, it's metal. Remember, metal touching glass is a conductor. So if we need to eliminate that, yeah, they did a good job by eliminating the human element, but they forgot about metal touching glass, and they forgot about metal rusting. So we want to stay away from that. So what do we end up doing? We've got this type of spacer system here. Kind of took the best of everything. We got the best of the swiggle, the best of the intercept, and we combined it. We've got a composite type of spacer system, so there's no metal in here at all. We've got the mylar fin to act as our vapor barrier, or our moisture barrier, and also it keeps all of the gas that we put inside of the window, it keeps it all inside of there instead of escaping. This is going to be the next best thing. This is what's going to work for us. This is what separates us from everybody else. Let me show you just a little quick demonstration, if I can, and go ahead and show.